Hey, what's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. I appreciate it. New Porpoise Pod's going to be out on Tuesday with me and Solana diving into a lot of things. This Vic Fangio thing is interesting. This took a twist. It is a good lesson, though. It is a good lesson in when you are diving into the world of Twitter, and it is a good lesson in just because people are putting things onto it doesn't mean things are official. Twitter is not the law. Twitter is not a contract. And so when things are out there, I guess you always got to be mindful that other details, other dominoes could drop. Look, all that being said, I think Vic Fangio will still end up being the Dolphins defensive coordinator, but you also got to remember this man's 65 years old. Do you think he even knows that something is on Twitter? And so when he gets reporters reaching out to him, and maybe he has professional courtesies hanging out there, maybe he told the 49ers, I still talk to you. Maybe he told the Panthers, I still talk to you as a professional courtesy. You think that Vic Fangio knows that his age, that, the deets are out there already, by the way, that you're going to be the highest paid coordinator. Maybe not. I don't know. But I do think it's silly to discredit reporters that did talk to the man and say, well, he says not saying he's not going to the Dolphins. He didn't say that he's not going to become the Dolphins defensive coordinator, but he is moving at his pace. It is his job. It is his to agree to. And so I don't think everybody's got to freak out yet. We will get to that bridge if it comes to it, Fangs. Don't do the dumb thing. But I think it's more of a not everybody works in this social media world, and just because NFL Network says it's so, doesn't mean they're wrong, but it also may not all be done. And, I think that all the reporters who are working on this are very credible people. They all vet and source and report these things with a lot of care, not to just be first. And I'm sure from the end of the Dolphins, it seems like they probably think they have it in the bag with him, but not necessarily at Vic Fangio's speed. Or maybe Fangio wants to go out there and, tie up some loose ends, break up with some people, shoot some people down at his speed. So we'll see how that all unfolds. It would be, if it doesn't come through, it would be tremendously disappointing, I think, because of how happy everybody was that it seemed like the Dolphins had the perfect hire already in the bag, and now maybe there's a bit of a hang-up. So that would be the biggest disappointment in it all. This whole, as long as he gets there, right? The idea that it's you got to get crazy with it, because maybe things Twitter speed doesn't work at a 65-year-old speed is not surprising, really. In the way I expect Vic Fangio to break up with people man to man, because he's a man's man. He's a glass chewer. He's a guy who has shards of glass in his cornflakes. This man is not gonna work at it because Tom Pelissero tweeted something. So I think it'll happen. I'm not sweating it yet, but it is mildly irritating to have to sweat this one out just a little bit in case there is some Kyle Shanahan shenanigans that come through. But as Kyle Shanahan is one to do, I'm sure he'll blow it, even if he has even if it looks very likely that he's got the upper hand in it. I'm sure he'll blow it. Couple other things did come through on the Dolphins ends of thing. Bradley Chubb is a Pro Bowler. He replaces, I believe it was Khalil Mack. So Bradley Chubb is going to the Pro Bowl. I don't even know what's going on with this Pro Bowl. I just learned from Solana tonight. And I heard this today on the radio show too, which, by the way, is streaming live on YouTube now. If you guys will check that out, much appreciated. They're actually doing a flag football game for this Pro Bowl. That's not a joke. I thought that was like a bit. Like they're doing I remember they used to do the Beach Bowl back in the day, where like they would play a flag football game on the week of the Pro Bowl on the beach. And I think somebody ended up getting hurt, and so they never did it. But they're actually doing a flag. That's what they're doing for the Pro Bowl, is a flag football game. Why? They've already nailed, cosplaying a football game that doesn't matter. You don't have to completely go to flag football. Although, I'm sure if Jalen Phillips was in the Pro Bowl and he ripped the flag off of Justin Herbert, they would call roughing the passer. Most likely. But yeah, Bradley Chubb going to the Pro Bowl. Bradley Chubb and Xavier Howard going to the Pro Bowl. I would say that if you were to ask the Dolphins, hey, who are the two defenders you're most disappointed in on this team? You probably would get the answers Bradley Chubb and Xavier Howard. And the idea that they're your Pro Bowl representation on the defensive side of things is pretty funny. I think if you had to, hone in on who the defenders that you would say, Christian Wilkins would probably be number one. Jalen Phillips probably number two. Maybe a Javon Hollins in there. I don't think you're going Bradley Chubb and Xavier Howard, but yet here they are doing their Pro Bowl flag football stuff. So good for them. The other piece of news that came in over the weekend as conference championships were being decided and the Super Bowl was getting set was Adam Schefter reported that the Dolphins are not going to pursue Tom Brady. The ESPN report, if I could get it up here exactly for you, was something to the effect of the Dolphins are committed to going forward with Tua. Here we go. Loading as we speak. Schefter reported the Dolphins are not expected to pursue Tom Brady should he decide he wants to return for 2023. Brady is undecided if he's on his plans for next season. Yeah, you fake yelled at Jim Gray over it. But the Super Bowl winner said to become an unrestricted free agent will likely attract attention from multiple teams. Brady previously linked to the Dolphins, who were punished for tampering. Thanks for that. Still hasn't answered for his crimes for that, by the way, because he started it. The Dolphins are committed to Tua as their starting quarterback for 2023. Sources tell Schefter they were pleased with his development the past season under Mike McDaniel. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of these things where like nobody believes it until the option is picked up. A lot of doomsday fodder out there surrounding the Dolphins quarterback because he's not going to the Pro Bowl because he's still in concussion protocol, which is completely fine because there's nothing to protocol through to. There's no football activities for him to speed up. There's no next step for him to go to. The step he was at was doing, calisthenics. Now there's no football to go to. What are we rushing for? I don't really understand why everybody is freaking out about the idea of Tua still being in concussion. I get the idea of the ominous cloud over it sounding really bad, but like his parents came out this past week, said he's playing. The reports were going into it. If the Dolphins would have advanced the playoffs, maybe he would have played. It's still there's nothing for him to advance to. Because to what? To advance to a flag football game? That's what we care about? Who gives a rat's ass? I mean, didn't make the Pro Bowl initially, probably should have, although a very stacked quarterback class in the AFC give you. But still, like, we give a rat's ass that he hasn't advanced in protocols for what? To golf? Like, what is the thing that we're upset about? I am interested about this, though, because Tua is one of those guys that, like, gets a lot of marketing opportunities, and a lot of the times, Super Bowl time, big star QBs, big star NFL players will make the rounds Super Bowl time and do a lot of interviews, and they'll be brought to you by Honey Baked Ham or Muscle Milk or, Tostitos. Who knows? Who knows who's going to pay Tua, six figures to go make the rounds and just say, hey, I love this product, and also I'll answer your questions. That'll be interesting to me because he's done it in the past, and I would venture to guess he is going to be making the media rounds. I would venture his agents are going to make him a lot of money to go beyond Pat McAfee, Dan Patrick. Man, I hope he doesn't go on Cowherd, or Chris Sims' show. But he's going to make the rounds and, say, hey, I love, Cafe Bustelo. And is, you get a lot of money for that. And I'm going to venture to guess that he's going to be doing a lot of press like that. No sources, just based on assumption, just of his past. I mean, unless he's, he just has a new baby. You gotta buy little Tua, lots of toys. And, kids are expensive, let me tell you. So, That'll be an interesting thing to kind of get his insight on how this is all played out. We'll finally get a sense, because all we really got on it was a misfired tweet that sent everybody into a frenzy because he posted a chapter instead of season. But it's still a concussion problem. I mean, who gives a rat's ass? I mean, protocol, what's he in the, yeah, when are OTAs? March, April? Like, yeah, he's got time, dude. Stop getting nutty about everything.